Chase Robertson. Do Scientologists think they will develop psychic powers by following LRH's teachings? What do they think of outsiders, non Scientologists, who claim to be psychic? Anything else you could add to this topic? Thank you for doing your show. Hey, Chase, thanks. And yes, Scientologists very definitely believe that they will develop psychic powers using Scientology or by, going up the levels of Scientology. I myself used to play a game with my mom when I was a kid. She actually sort of taught me this, and we started doing it. And it was literally like staring at each other and trying to perceive each other's mental image pictures, like telepathy. And sometimes we would guess right, and sometimes we'd guess wrong. But we'd sit there and not like in two chairs, just facing each other. We usually did this while we were washing the dishes, and I thought it was kind of a fun game. It was like this telepathy game. So this was something that I was raised with the idea of, is that I could, have this psychic connection with people. And it was funny because for years I used to, really want that psychic connection with people I had fallen in love with, who I was a couple with, right? A girlfriend or whatever, or my wife. And it never really seemed to manifest. And I was always like, it kind of sucks. Sometimes you have that, oh, this person's about to call and then the phone rings thing. And that would happen with my mom through my whole life. And it kind of, I don't know, it kind of started with that game, is how I've always thought of it. I am sure I am full of it on this entire thing. I think it's kind of hilarious that I laugh at myself about all this, but I'm talking about it so you'll get an idea of how somebody brought up in Scientology might think about it, which is that it's a legit thing, that because we're spirits, we can communicate to each other directly and we don't have to go through bodies. So yeah, this is definitely a belief in Scientology. Then in terms of outsiders claiming to be psychic, kind of the same thing. Like anybody could be, because we're all thetans, we're all spirits. So we've all got latent abilities. And Hubbard talked about how people can randomly remember things from their past or have certain abilities and not even be aware of what the ability is or how they have it. But, we would explain it in terms of a thetan. And energy flows and pictures and, Hubbard's terminology, other fields and ideas use other terms, but the idea that there could be psychics and that they could be legit, absolutely, Scientologists believe that. That doesn't mean they're going to believe every Tom, Dick, and Harry or Cleo who says that they are a psychic, and especially when they're selling their services. Scientologists don't really go in for that too much. But I could see a Scientologist going to visit a fortune teller or seeing a psychic and sort of, maybe there's a problem and they want to, get some help with it or something. I could see that happening, even though I never heard about anybody doing that I remember when I was in Scientology. So yeah, I think that's a decent coverage of it. It's not just psychic telepathy that Scientologists believe in too. They believe at the ultimate levels that telekinesis could be a thing, clairvoyance, clairaudience, in terms of predicting the future. Or distant perception, remote viewing, things like that. Those are all beliefs that Scientologists hold are real, literal possibilities.